far. Blankhorn thought of making a 3 wide there. And around lap number 1, Donald Chisholm will lead the first lap of the RJ Poirier Heavy Equipment 150. Noggle following right in his tire tracks.
Side by side for the runner-up position, and Nicholas Noggle will escape with it. Jared Butcher falls back, and Stevie Lively's going for 4th on the outside.
What a run early on here in the RJ Poirier 150 for Stevie Lively, returning full-time on the Tour this year, and he's going to try and truck around Black Betty in the 67. I'll tell you, Tim, that outside lane, it's working, and it's really working for him.
Mike McKenzie's got that car hooked up and hauling the mail on the outside. The East Coast Financing, number 30 to the outside, looking to keep it in the top 5. He'll clear Kyle Reed.
Good runner.
And the 67 is coming to the front. Dylan Blankhorn looking at Donald Chisholm for the top spot.
And he is reeling in the hometown boy, Donald Chisholm. Part-time driver? Yeah, I don't know about that. He's driving like he's been doing full-time racing since 2019. Black Betty knocking on the door, Chisholm.
Donald Chisholm looking to hold on over Dylan Blankhorn. Blankhorn's got nothing to lose, and Donald's part-time too on this series as they battle for the lead.
Jared Butcher trying to get back up to 3rd as Blankhorn makes the move on the inside, side by side, the 67 in the 89 to turn 3 and side by side for 3rd. New leader in the RJ Poirier Heavy Equipment 150. Black Betty back in front. Dylan Blankhorn. Nick Noggle having his hands full with Noggle. The 54.
Boy.
Wow, up the track was the 54. Contact. The 99, the 54 rubbed fenders there. Craig may have actually hit the rear tire on Jared Butcher. We'll keep an eye on that as Russell Smith Jr. trying to crack the top 5.
Rusty is digging the 99, going to let it up, and the 88 goes to the outside. Russell Smith Jr., 88, 99 as they battle for position number 5 and a 4.
Rusty looking for that.
They picked up one more spot. Jared Butcher falls back as Cole Butcher looks at Kyle Reed.
I will tell you, Tim, the spotters on these cars as Vaughn gives a little shot to the back end of the 29. These spotters are working hard. It looks like maybe a tire rub there on the 42 or some brake smoke. They were kind of smoking you a little. No, now that's starting to become a big thing. There might be a tire up there on the 42 car, Tim.
It can't be brake smoke in the middle of the straightaway. I wouldn't think the 42 going down into the corner. Must be a tire rub or something, maybe a little bit more in that 42 car. Is it continue? Oh, yeah, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. But the 42 is still keeping speed with Cole Butcher. We'll keep an eye on that as we are following it on the TCM TV feed. It's still the Dylan Blankhorn show. Donald Chisholm right behind in second. And wow, big smoke coming into the 42. It's Cheech and Chong right now for Kyle Reed. And he spins in turn 2. They all spin. Oh, Butcher!
Oh, trouble!
Oil on the track, and Butcher was right in the tire tracks. Back end smushed for the 54.
Proud to the inside of Butcher. Butcher up the hill!
Like an
Great save!
Like an ice rink that 53 was on.
He had to stick handle that race car up the hill. Greg Proud opens the door to the inside, and here comes Sloan White as well. Sloan White in the 99 to the outside of Chisholm.
Oh, and Austin McDonald in the 53.
Oh,
loose
Butcher!
Again. Oh, that 53 is just not handling good in the messy. Oh, Rusty Jr. tagged by Rogers as there was 3 wide, 2 rows deep.
Does Cole maybe have a tire going down or something, or is it just he's hitting that the wrong way?
I don't know. He's on the outside where it's very dirty from all the speedy dry, but just cannot weasel his way. I'm trying to get a look at the right front tire. Now he falls in line for number 1 as Craig Slomwhite dealing with a little bit of traffic. He's stuck behind the battling 41.
Oh, trouble on the front!
Oh, big wreck on the front with Matt Vaughn, Ashton Tucker, and Nick Noggle. Ooh, the 2 is smashed up some good along with the 0. Caution on the speedway.
Right there.
Right there. So Nick got a little bit of help.
Yep.
In the earlier stage of this race. East Coast International crew working hard on the 0. A lot of rear end and front end damage. A lot of front end damage on the number 2 of Ashton Tucker. You can see there's the old bear bond and maybe Gorilla Tape there. We can see the crew putting on the 0 car. I fixed a Honda Civic with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a Honda Civic.
That is definitely not a Honda Civic.
You can see just how crunched up it is. But that
what a run Sloan White got off at turn number 4. The presidential ventilation number. Oh, hello, little contact off of 2.
Just a little lean into each other. Can Slomwhite take advantage? He's going to lead that lap and muscle around Dylan Blenkhorn. New leader in the 150. It's the champ.
Something we haven't seen all season, at least early in the race. Craig Slomwhite goes to the top of the board, and Greg Proud wants a little more.
I thought he was first here as things are heating up. Business is about to pick up, as our good old buddy JR says.
99 of Slomwhite has company to the inside of the 67 of Blenkhorn as they battle off of corner number 2. The black and yellow 99 and the black, yellow, and white number 67 off of 4 as they continue to battle side by side for the top spot in the RJ Poirier 150.
This is fantastic racing. Proud moment.
There it is right there as they dive into corner number 1. Little contact there as Gary Elliott off the pace in the back straightaway. McDonald will pick up that spot. He's been working for a couple laps on it, and the 42 gives him a little boot ski back.
And here comes Cole Butcher underneath, going to take advantage, trying to slide back in the top 5. 53.
Marble and Tile Dodge looking at the back number of the 67 of Blenkhorn.
And Dylan's in a kind of a lose-lose situation because here comes
trouble! Great
Proud.
save, Dylan Blenkhorn.
Proud says it's time to go. Back in front of Craig Slomwhite right before. Craig has been in the middle line. The 0 slides at the top. Oh, look out! He spins in the slick stuff at the top of the track near the leaders.
Yellow.
The advantage on the outside. And here comes Dylan Blenkhorn. Black Betty on the bottom of the 29 car.
If Greg Proud wants to win. Blenkhorn sideways. Butcher up the side of him. Side by side for third.
Journey we both
the most exciting time of the year when things start to warm up outside. The real racetrack, the real race cars get awoken from the garages. We get those puppies out to the real racetrack, but before we get there, we got to wrap up this winter stuff. We got to wrap up the iRacing here for the finale for the Tim's Corner Motorsports season. The TCM Showcase 250 presented by Tulco Electric here on Vidane TV. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth alongside me, Matt Marr. Matt, how we feeling tonight, bud?
Feeling pretty good tonight, Paul. Glad to be here for the final showing tonight for the Tim Scotter Motorsports Winter Series. Hopefully, looking for a good feature tonight, 250 laps.
Yeah, going to be an absolute blast here tonight. Ashton Reekie going to be joining us in the broadcast later on here tonight. But how about this? Getting right down to the nitty-gritty, jumping right in to the feature here. It's been a long season. All these drivers have won their way into this 4th annual TCM Showcase, once again presented by Tulco Electric. And we had ourselves about an hour or so of practice. No qualifying, no heat races, no last chance qualifier. Random pill draw start, and there you see the number 56 is the lucky number tonight. Tanton Woldridge going to start on the pole. Noel Fougier starting on his outside.
We see in the number 3 spot, Josh Langell, and on his outside, Jason Goss in the 41 car, and round out top 5, Danny Chisholm in the 87.
Chris Roma in the 83 car going to roll off P6. How about the double nines? Going to start about mid-pack. Brandon Campbell in the 7th position. James Pileski, haven't heard that name in a little bit. He's going to roll off P8. Travis Roma, Richard Drake going to round out the top 10.
Then we see Todd Cousins in a 2 car, slotting in P11. Dave Cassidy in P12. Dylan Black, P13. Danny Veach, 14th, and rounding out the field is the number 17 car of Ricky Miller in 15th.
Who's who in the Maritimes here in Canada, in the iRacing world. Gonna be an awesome time to sit back and watch this showcase of drivers here at Langley Speedway. Beautiful sunset on one end of the racetrack, and you can see the lights are off on the iRacing pace car. We are lined up 2 by 2 all the way through, and we are getting ready to rock and or roll one last time here for the TCM Showcase 250 presented by Tulco Electric. There goes the pace car, going to dip on down the safety of pit road. Barney in the flag stand says green, green, green. Here we go. Tanton Woldridge going to pull off the pull off the pass there, move on up to the high side. He's got 2 car lengths over Noel Fougier on the high side.
Yeah, Josh Langell in the 18 car to make an aggressive move to get past for second. As we get Noel Fougier sliding behind him. Kind of a dark number on the side of his car. Can't really make him out very well.
Danny Chisholm, I believe that scored is the 87 car running P3 right now. He's already gained 2 spots from where he qualified. And you can see a little bit of a repeat from Tuesday night's action here in TCM on the TCM Showcase Open here on Vidane TV. Getting single file pretty early here. Now, these drivers have 5 sets of tires down on pit road to get them through this 250 lapper here at Langley Speedway. And we saw Tuesday night, as soon as you put 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods on the bottom of these race cars, they really pick up in pace.
Gotta ask you there, Paul. So in Tuesday night's Open, we saw it being more of a daylight setting. We're kind of in the dusk and starting and kind of getting the nighttime here a little bit. How much does this transition affect these cars on the short track?
That's one of the cool things about the iRacing simulation, the iRacing service, is there is a lot of dynamic weather aspects. You've got light, obviously with the sunset, it's going to get darker. It's going to change up the eyes just a little bit for these drivers here. You might even get the racetrack lights to get turned on. So that's going to affect kind of your vision just a little bit. So the light to dark definitely affects it. You've got different fog that could roll in, the moisture in the air. It affects the race car here in iRacing, just like it would affect a real race car on a real racetrack. Getting real close to getting rain here in iRacing too, so that'll be a whole lot of fun to look forward to. But as the temperature kind of adjusts as well, when the sun sets a little bit, it starts to cool off. These cars are going to start to get just a little bit more grip, and you'll see some drivers that were handling really well in the daylight. As we transition into night, they might fall back. They might even take off just a little bit better.
So, as far as I understand, we have 75 laps before a competition caution. Just not a lot of time per se, but it's also, we're pretty spread out right now. Everyone's single file. How aggressive should drivers be, anticipating these competition cautions? Trying to get to the front.
In a regular race, I would say more than likely you'd be super aggressive, but or you wouldn't be so aggressive. You'd want to save a lot of stuff. But this is a stout field here. 15 of the best in the Maritimes of Canada. Hey, Tim.
I heard you say something about being aggressive.
Yes.
We're going to throw another wrinkle in there. These drivers voted at the drivers' meeting that we are going to have competition cautions every 75 laps of consecutive green. That expires at 2:25. So the final chance we would have a competition caution would be going back green around 150. So just to let you guys know, there is comp cautions every 75 laps of consecutive green up until lap 225.
Well, there we have it. Perfect.
A little bit of a monkey wrench thrown into tonight's field, and these drivers definitely going to be able to handle it. And as I was saying, a lot of these drivers in these sim races, in the weekly league races and things like that, you kind of see some drivers save tires and save the equipment just a little bit. But we're in the All-Star race, man. This is the TCM Showcase, the 4th annual TCM Showcase. Again, presented by Tulco Electric. Appreciate those guys jumping on board for all the support this season and in previous years as well. So these guys are going to be hard on the hammer. They're going to be super aggressive throughout this race. And you can already see Jason Goss slipping up just a little bit back there for P3. He's trying to track down Noel Fouchier in that 36.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to get that little bit of outside line going, and seeing if there's a little difference with the way the daylight's going down here and transitioning to the night. So far, not many people are trying to get out there and to see what different lines will do. But it is definitely, if you're gonna do it now, do it early, just to see how your car would handle it. If that were me.
Ashton Reekie running just a little bit late to the booth here this evening. We'll have to see. We'll have to find out here whether or not Ashton Reekie is going to show up in the broadcast booth before or after the High Line comes in here at Langley.
Well, if he's coming late, we should bring some snacks here for both of us.
100%. Taking a look here at the top 3, Woldridge, Langell, and Chisholm got themselves in a tight little pack there. A little bit of a gap back to Noel Fouchier there in 4th. Jason Goss in a 41 car right in behind him, working a lap number 20 as soon as Canton crosses the stripe. There you see it. Watching us live here on Vidane TV. We are live all over the place. We're live on Twitch. We're live on TikTok. We're not live on TikTok. We've got some TikToks over there. Live on YouTube and Facebook as well. And over on the Vidane TV page, we are 27 likes away from that big 2,000. Really appreciate it if you give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, all that good stuff. And I'm thinking once we hit 2,000 likes over there on the Vidane TV Facebook page, we should probably hand out some t-shirts or hats.
Yeah, a little giveaway wouldn't hurt. I was gonna mention, if we shouldn't even mention TikTok without Dylan Langell here, because he's the big TikTok star of the Maritimes.
Yeah, I didn't even know what storm chips were until I started seeing Dylan on TikTok, and there's a lot of different things I'm starting to learn about the Maritimes up in Canada.
Yeah, a bit of a hidden gem they are, as we see Chisholm kind of being in a, I don't know, to me that's the kind of right spot, right place to be, where Langell's trying to hunt down Woolridge, and if they get going, bumper to bumper, and Chisholm can take advantage.
You see most of these drivers very evenly matched there in practice as well. The top 10 were within at least 0.2 of a second with one another. You can see the top 5 kind of pulling away just a little bit. We'll take a peek back here. The Roma brothers running in just outside the top 5. The 83 car of Chris Roma there in 6th. His brother Travis right in behind. He's got himself 2 spots gained from where we started here tonight. James Pileski, he's got a little bit of a chain hooked up to the back bumper of that black and yellow machine, trying to get tugged around this racetrack.
Yeah, we saw Travis have a really good day on Tuesday night. He can't remember, did he win the feature on Tuesday night, or he was in the top 3 for sure?
Oh, I don't even remember who won qualifying tonight. That was 2 days ago, man. I don't remember.
yeah, that's fair enough. My days have been all messed up myself. But no, I know he was. Oh, we got a car around there. We saw Todd Cousins in the wall a little bit.
Yeah, a handful of drivers getting some damage there. There's the big time damage there for Dave Cassidy in that 13 car. He definitely turned the most laps there in practice. Had about 130, 140 laps when it was all said and done.
Yeah. Oh, see Todd Cousins going to someone. I believe it was Brandon Campbell, actually. We saw someone Yeah, Brandon Campbell around 13 tags him.
Back that up once again here on the U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay. You see that big damage on the front of the 13 car. Really nowhere to go at that point. But hard racing here between Dylan Black and the 08 to 99 of Brandon Campbell. And you can see the 2 car of Cousins just kind of gets into the back bumper. The 99 backs him on up. Almost everybody gets around except for that 13 car. And with the trees in the background, you almost can't even see that camouflage car.
No, it's very well camouflaged. Almost reminds me of that. Remind me of a Casey Mears 13 camel car back in the day. But no, I was just gonna mention as well. We saw Todd Cousins also be aggressive in Journey Open, but that looked like almost no fault. Just had a bit of a run on exit and just tagged him in the wrong spot, trying to get by Brandon Campbell.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you're racing for points or in a weekly series, you have a lot of give and take throughout the race. But we made mention, this is the All-Star race. This is the showcase here at Langley Speedway, the 4th annual TCM Showcase 250 presented by Tulco Electric. So everybody trying to get up to the front, wanting to get on the podium to get over here and talk to us in the broadcast booth after the race for the Turn 4 podcast post-race show. But everybody trying to get that trophy, trying to get that $100 bill, and trying to get that bragging rights that'll last all the way through the summer. And before we came on the air here, Tim came up to the broadcast booth and said, hey, we got some plans penciled in for next season. So looking forward to that, looking forward to getting this thing back on the road. And there you see the iRacing pace car going to shut those strobe lights off one more time. We're lining them up 2 by 2 all the way through. Going to take that restart on lap number 33.
Yeah, and for an All-Star race, it's almost kind of checkers the records. You want to pace yourself as much as you can while make your way to the front. But all in all, you're going for the big money. You want to win this as much as you can. And head to the green flag.
There you can see a little bit different from the initial start. Once the drivers take a restart on a caution, they can basically take off as soon as that pace car hits pit road. And there you saw big restart for the 18 car. Lange going to take over the lead. Chisholm there in second. Woolridge all the way back to third. Shear and Goss going to round out the top 5.
Everyone seems to be spreading out a little bit more, just like we did in the first part of the race. Now, just since we had a caution there, it won't be for another 75 laps that we have a competition caution, unless we have one in between that.
Yeah, we saw a lot of green flag racing Tuesday night in the heat races and the big show, the feature, to get these top 3 drivers into the big show here this Thursday night. We can see we got some impressive racing. There's a little bump banging and grinding there between the 08 and the 93. Dylan Black and James Pileski. Pileski's stuck on that high side. The rational Richard Drake going to come on down in the 141 Laker News Rise and get a little bumpski from the 93.
Yeah, there is one thing that I do notice. We see drivers taking a little bit more to the high side there. They lose a little bit to drivers on the inside on entry, but they definitely do get a bit more of a run on the outside coming onto the straightaways. So there's definitely some pros and cons to the 2 different lines. I guess it really just all comes down to how your car will handle both sides of the track.
The All Black everything taking over the lead. The 87 car, Danny Chisholm, has himself almost a 0.4 of a second lead over the 18 of Josh Langell. Tanton Woolridge slid back just a little bit. How about this battle for 5th between Goss, the 83 car of Roma, and Noel Fougier up in the 36 car?
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of contact between Roma and Fougier. As we see Fougier just slip back ever more, getting passed by Travis Roma now, and going to be overtaken by the 08 of Dylan Black.
I think these guys know that they're going to have to wait until Ashton Reekie joins us up here in the booth for that high line to come in. Noel Fougier struggling just a little bit, the 141. Trying to get around him down there on the bottom side, using that apron to try and get that car to turn just a little bit more. One of the Stafford Speedway tricks. There's another bump from Pileski in the 93 to the back bumper of Richard Drake. I think that 93 car wants to see a little bit more of the top 10 action.
The caution out there, not sure what for, but can we get a replay if we can?
Yeah, we're going to pull up the U-House Racing Designs Instant Replay. Got a word from the tech shed that it was the 2 car, but it looks like the 99 car having themselves a little bit of trouble there, and it almost looks like a connection issue for 99 of Brandon Campbell. We'll back that up and take a peek at it here on that YRD instant replay.
It'd be super unfortunate if it was a connection issue, given how he had a good performance Tuesday night in the Open.
There you see the 99 got in there just a little bit too hot, got in the quarter panel of Ricky Miller in the 17 and got himself spun around. It looks like that 99 car going to call it an evening here as he's going to pull into the garage area. And we see a couple of drivers coming down pit road here, and we'll see if we can get the video feed to stop being all sorts of wonky, and we'll get that all sorts of sorted out.
Yeah, super unfortunate for Brandon Campbell after I believe it was the third place showing on Tuesday night in the Open. He was in the back for a little bit, and probably definitely could have paced himself a little longer till later on in the night to make a move like that. But I know we'll have other good performances by him next season.
And you can see a couple of takers down on pit road. The 17 of Ricky Miller has some damage. You can see Noel Fouchier going to take some tires, as well as Richard Drake in that 141 car. So everybody given an opportunity to take tires early on here in this one, working lap number 45, the second caution here this evening. And we heard from the big boss man, Tim Terry. These drivers have voted and they have spoken. Every 75 laps of consecutive green flag laps, we will in fact throw a competition caution, but we haven't gotten there yet. A couple of small incidents here. Again, working caution flag number 2. And again, we are live all over the heckin' internet here tonight. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitch. And we are just 27 likes away over on the Vidane TV page from 2000. Like you said, like we talked about a few laps ago here, Matt, I think we're going to hand out some T-shirts and some hats, but we're going to throw that green flag here, and a big restart once again for that 87 car at Chisholm. He's going to be able to pull away by a few tenths.
Well, I'll definitely like a hat or a T-shirt from you there, Paul. Yeah, we see Chisholm get another great restart there in that all black 87 car. As I was talking about before, he was sitting in third earlier in today's race. Now he's back out in that fresh, clean air. I think he's gonna have a good day. Just gonna try to slowly extend that lead out more. As we're looking at right now with Todd Cousins trying to overtake Goss on the 41. If he slides back more.
Got a couple of drivers that had themselves down on pit road under that caution to get some tires, so it'll be fun to watch them try and claw their way through the field. We heard after the Showcase Open this past Tuesday night that it was really difficult to pass around this racetrack. Very narrow driving range, and you can see all these drivers kind of lined up single file here on the bottom side, shooting back up towards that wall there. The 83 car gonna open the door just a little bit for Dylan Black in the 08 car, but he shuts it back again, and the 08 going to tuck back into the tire tracks. But he is hungry, wants to move himself into that fourth.
Yeah, as we looked at in the Open, as flat as the track is, tire wear can be a big issue, especially if you're trying to use different lines as well. But they have five sets of tires tonight. Should be lots to use. And as we've noticed so far, we've had 2 cautions within the first 50 laps. And with cautions breeding cautions, I don't see us getting anywhere close to having a 75 lap green flag run to getting a competition caution. But everyone seems to be pretty calm at the moment. Single file, getting a little close, a little aggressive. We see the 93 trying to get underneath the 141 of Richard Drake, and it's for the 11th spot.
Been some tough racing between Pileski and Drake, the 93 and the 141. Looks like the Richard Drake machine got up into the outside wall just a little bit, give it a little bit of a scuff. You can see Ricky Miller going to try and take advantage on the high side, but didn't quite get there. Oh, big bump from the 93 of Pileski into the back of Todd Cousins. Looks like he hits him again in that 2 car. That 93 car really wants to see the front. There you can see he's going to do a little body slam action and move that 2 car on up and slam that door open for Richard Drake to pass on through.
Yeah, a bit of a, giving him back his own taste of medicine, really, because as aggressive as Todd Cousins fit in that 2-car between tonight and the Tuesday night race, he's getting shown the same kind of treatment as he's kind of delivered lately, as it seems. But so far, a good battle up front. See Roma trying to take over the 0-car of Woolridge there, and for the 3rd spot.
Everybody's still chasing down that all-black car, the 87 at Danny Chisholm. 0.4 of a second is the lead. You see Tant Woolridge there in second, or in third, rather. The 18 car of Langell skipped right over him. Hard to see that flat black race cars, which is odd. I love flat black race cars. And you can see that 18 car holding a pretty wheel, holding on to that second spot. And right on that apron there, as we've seen all these drivers kind of hold on to throughout the evening so far.
Yeah, definitely being that low to the apron. I mean, granted, I don't have any experience with it, but I can imagine you're probably using a lot of brake trying to stay down there. As we get the 3rd caution of the night coming out on lap 62.
You can see the 93 car of James Pileski mowing the grass just a little bit, and well, this looks like we're gonna have to back it up all the way about a lap, half a lap or so. You can see the 93 car in front of 141 and gets into the back of the 36 of Fougere at least 3 or 4 times, gets up there, tries to ruffle his doors just a little bit, and coming back into the other corner, the 36 just give him a hey, how you doing drop kicks the back bumper of James Pileski and sends him on around. That's going to bring out caution flag number 3. I got to tell you, I got to believe here, Matt, I'm not sure race officials are going to be very happy with that.
No, and if I was official, I wouldn't be happy either. Don't know who they're going to place a lot of blame on there for, considering I know Fougere looked like a retaliation, but I mean you gotta admit there's gotta be frustrations between the 36 of Fougere towards the 93 of Polensky. Just given the fact that he was all over the bumper and then tried to move it away, that's one thing, but that was, to me, it looked overly aggressive.
Handful of drivers electing to come down pit road here on the 3rd caution here on lap number 64. And we reset that clock once again. 75 green flag laps is when we'll get that competition caution if we do, in fact, need it. But seen a couple of quick little incidents here, little multi-car incidents, kind of mid-pack on back throughout the evening. But all in all, been some phenomenal racing here at Langley Speedway. And you can see everybody getting ready to line up 2x2 once again. That iRacing pace car shut those strobe lights off. We're getting ready to go green once again.
Yeah, a lot of good green flag racing so far. Like, not a lot of side by side, but definitely a lot of bumper to bumper and close competition, especially among top 5 and in the back end of top 10 as well. Don't see any, like I said, don't really see any side by side unless they're moving each other out of the way. Which, lately it's been kind of unfortunate seeing a few wrecks happening, but is what it is at times.
Going to get a 1-lap extension on that caution. You can see the iRacing pace car going to shut the lights off once again. So we get going here on lap number 66. You can see Danny Chisholm on the bottom side in that 87 car, the 18 of Danny Chisholm up top. Richard Drake, Chris Roma, Jason Goss going to round out the top 5 as they run, getting ready for a restart. Once we cross the line, lap number 67.
Someone's going to remind Danny Chisholm to actually paint a number on that car.
A little bit of duct tape. Okay. Duct tape number action. Maybe some painter's tape, some nice blue painter's tape on there so it pops for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just make it look nice.
100%. You can see just how quickly everybody getting single file. Todd Cousins up on the high side. Tant Woolridge down on the bottom. Travis Roma in behind. He's got a little side-by-side action in behind him. There's Danny Vitch at the 29, the Major Mellon Mountain Dew 29 car. Love that paint scheme. But he's looks like he's stuck on the high side just a little bit. Dylan Black going to get on by in the 08 car. And there you see the 29 going to tuck right on into the back of his tire tracks.
Yeah, Beach's race so far kind of started out the way that the Open started for him. Kind of in the back, running around the high side a little bit. But he made his way towards the front in the later half of the Open. So maybe we'll see that again on tonight's race.
Saw a quick shot of the 93 car of Pileski pulling off a pit road after a quick green flag stop here. Danny Chisholm still holding on to the lead about 0.3 of a second there over the 18 car, and it's a single file battle in behind, but they've got a little bit of a gap back to the 83 car of Chris Roma, and everybody still kind of working single file here. Tim?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed. The 93 at James Pileski and the 36 at Noel Fougere precipitated that last caution flag. There was a little extracurricular activities under yellow. We penalized the 93 for brake checking under yellow and getting out of line to do so. So that's why the 93 is scored as 2 laps down.
There you have it. A little heated discussion between race cars will get you a slap on the wrist here on TCM, and that's going to affect the 93's night in a big way. He's going to stay out on track, though, 2 laps down, and hoping for a couple of quick cautions here to get himself back on the lead lap. Still 13 cars on the lead lap as we work lap number 74.
Well, I was gonna mention, since he was taking the pit penalty anyways, he might as well get tires on it, and maybe he can make some ground up, with the fresh rubbers, and see if he can't even, pass his way around to get at least 1 lap back. And if the flags fly as according to plan for him, and still another 175 laps to go, anything can happen here, and that's why we love motorsports. With unpredictability of it all, even with the short track, and only 15 cars on the track. Well, 14 now, but like I said, anything can happen.
Yeah, Brandon Campbell's 99 car, the only car down in the garage area, retired here for the evening, back on lap number 41. Had himself a couple of incidents here tonight, so not his night to get himself the 4th TCM Showcase 250 trophy here, presented by Tulco Electric. Appreciate those guys jumping on board and supporting our deal here on Vidane TV. You can see Richard Drake holding on to the top 5 right now. He's actually in 4th, trying to chase down the 83 car Roma.
Yeah, good early showing by Drake right now. Within the first 100 laps, kind of buying his time, making his way to the front. If the cautions follow according to plan for him, he should be standing right up there. I'd see Tanton Woolbridge take advantage of the 41 car of Goss and advance his position in the top 5.
Tight battle here, about mid top 10 or so. Fougere going to hold on to the spot in the 36. The 41 right in behind of Dylan Black, up 5 spots from where he qualified. The 29 of Danny Bitch on the move as well. He's gained 5 spots, and right in that 9th position. Todd Cousins a little bit further on back in the 10th spot. Travis Roma trying to get around that 2 car, break himself into the top 10. Ricky Miller, Dave Cassidy, the last 2 drivers on the lead lap here. James Pileski still out there getting himself a little bit of a slap on the wrist there for the extracurricular activities under caution flag, but still out there motoring on. And the 87 car still out there leading this race, crossing the stripe for a lap 84.
I'll give it to Pileski. Has a 2 lap down his advantage, and been given a penalty. But the no quit attitude and still staying out there on the track to make the best of it. That's what I like to see, and it's kind of why I like to see underdogs out there. Make the best out of a bad situation.
Absolutely, we're seeing a lot of give and take here with a lot of these drivers early on in this. I mentioned this is the All-Star race, the showcase. All these drivers have won a race here so far in the TCM iRacing season here in 2022-2023. These are the best of the best here in the Maritimes on the iRacing service, and you're going to start seeing a lot of aggression out of guys that you won't usually see aggression there, and you saw a big move for the 141, kind of giving a little bit of a jab there to the back bumper of the 83.
Well, I definitely understand why he's being a little more aggressive. He's being under attack right now by the 0 car of Woolbridge. If 141 can, try to keep his nose on the bottom and just try to nudge it forward to the 83, he should be okay and hopefully gain his position further.
15 on through, you can see everybody up in the top 10, very close knit, bumper to bumper to bumper, all the way through here, almost like I-95 traffic down in southwest Connecticut. But you can see Dylan Black going to make a move down on the bottom side. Not quite a dive bomb, but had some good momentum going on in there. Gets underneath the 41 of Goss. The 29 going to follow him on through. Move that Major Mountain Dew ride up to 8th.
Yeah, the further along this race goes, really kind of puts in perspective that the bottom line is the go-to line here. We saw Goss in a 41 just slide back even further towards the back of the pack there. And while he's still in top 10, but he was in the top 5 earlier today. So really took a drop in positions.
And you can see a lot of these cars up in the top 5 have themselves a little bit of damage. Some damage on the right front of the 141 Laker News machine of Richard Drake. And you can see he's still trying to get around Chris Roma. He's closed right up on the back bumper there, but doesn't quite have enough to get down or around him. Damage on the 83 car there as well. So a bit of a war of attrition here tonight. A lot of clean green flag racing here. And keep in mind, once we get 75 laps consecutive green flag racing, we will indeed get a competition caution. These drivers voted here in the drivers meeting earlier tonight, and that is in fact what they voted for. So that's what we'll get. Haven't needed it yet. A couple of cautions sprinkled on in here, but overall phenomenal racing.
Yeah, it's definitely been 20 laps since our last caution. So we got a little ways to go before we get to that 75 lap mark. But everyone seems to be a little spread out now in single file as we're starting to come up on, almost to slower cars, a little slower traffic, getting to lap car positions for the leaders.
As you can see, a couple of low angle shots here. The sun's starting to kind of dip behind that horizon. We talked about the dynamic weather here in the iRacing service. It's going to start to affect the handling of these cars. You can see Canton Woolridge all the way down on the bottom of the apron there. And you see that work at a lot of real racetracks, Stafford Motor Speedway being one of them, where a lot of drivers will go beneath that line, that apron line, to basically turn the car just a little bit better. And it works here in the iRacing service as well. Canton Woolridge trying to get around that 4th place position of Richard.
As we know, with some tracks, especially some bigger tracks, will have rules to not go below those lines. But a lot of short tracks, like Langley here, don't have that rule. We saw Woolridge getting back on 141 and kind of almost like checked up a little bit, but just kind of stayed back some and went backwards a little bit, really. I was going to mention there, I love those low angle shots, as we saw there a minute ago with Fajero in 36 trying to keep behind the 0 car. Just kind of puts in perspective how low a car will go on the track surface to try to get that advantage on the inside.
Yeah, drivers doing everything they can. There's a good shot off 0 car of Canton Woolridge, trying to peek down low, trying to boot that door open for the 141 and get that 4th position. Chasing it for a couple of laps now. Doing a really good job staying right in the tire tracks. Dylan Black trying to move forward as well. He's here holding on to that spot right now, but the 08 he keeps getting right up to that back bumper.
And that seems to be kind of a good pattern that we've seen some drivers in some cars tonight, and just they'll be able to get to a bumper until about halfway to the corner, and then just don't have the momentum on the exit to stay there.
I'm still holding on to the lead. You can see the gap back behind the 2nd place car of Lancho to Chris Roma. About a second or so. Handful of car lengths in there, and you can see the 18 car seems to be in a comfortable spot there in 2nd. Lancho all over the back bumper, but not being aggressive at this point in time. Not really trying to press the issue here. Knows he's still got about 150 laps here or so, give or take a lap or two. He's going to get right up to the bumper, back up just a little bit, and kind of see just how long it takes to close that gap up. He's taking notes for later on in this race.
Well, he's got a good enough gap between him and the 83 of Roma to kind of even try a couple different lines just to see how well that all affects his car, if it's an improvement or if it makes it a little slower. We see him right on the back bumper of the 87 of Chisholm. It almost like he's just pacing himself, just kind of staying there, not trying to make any sudden moves. Like you mentioned, almost 150 laps left as we get to the 108 mark here in a second. It's just buying his time is all he's doing right now, and just trying to see if Chisholm's going to make any mistakes and take advantage of where he can.
What's up, Dave Cassidy there in the 13 car. Go down one lap, involved in an earlier incident. That little bit of damage that he's got on that car seems to be affecting the handling in a big way, but these front two still bumper to bumper, and they're bumper to bumper on back a little bit further. They're just about 0.8 of a second back there, and if this were a bigger track, like a drafting track, this would be an awesome opportunity for that second pack to kind of close back up on those top two drivers. But with the narrow racing grooves here at Langley Speedway, and with these cars getting around here, it's not really much help with the drafting. It's all momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. Like bumping is definitely a positive thing on larger tracks, not so much here in these small corners.
Working lap number 111 here, a little single file action getting around the racetrack. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth. Matt Marr alongside me. The TCM closing event, the big finale here for the iRacing season. The TCM Showcase 250, 4th annual. Oh, by the way, presented by Tulco Electric. Live on Vidane TV, live over on the Facebook page, live on Twitch, and live on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a follow. Once we hit that 2,000 like mark or that 2,000 follower mark over there on Facebook, we're going to we're going to hand out, give away some hats, some t-shirts, a little bit of merchandise over on the Vidane.net merchandise booth. And if you don't want to wait that long, hey, that business is always open. Not always doing business, but always open over at Vidane.net. Get all your Vidane TV hats, t-shirts, merchandise, hats, t-shirts, stickers, hats, all the important stuff.
We see the leaders here, Dayton Chisholm and Josh Langelos, coming up to the 17th car of Rainey Miller. I figure Rainey would kind of get out of the way here and be on the top side for the leaders, but he's kind of staying in front, just trying to fight to stay on the lead lap here.
Yeah, we've had those couple of quick cautions peppered in throughout the evening here tonight, and the Ricky Miller machine trying to hold on to that lead lap spot. And those are the cars here on track. So there you can see, going to just a little bit. The Chisholm going to get down on the bottom side. Langell going to be able to follow him on through, and now you're going to see Ricky Miller probably fall through the field here up on that high side. Richard Drake trying to make that high side come in. Moving on up, and he's actually going to lose.
Big wreck there with Chris Roma there, and Ricky Miller in the 17 car.
Yeah, we'll back that up once again here on the U-House Racing Design Instant Replay. You blink and you miss it here in the production booth. You can see not quite clear for the 83 car, trying to get a little bit of a late apex getting into the corner. Unfortunately, the 17 car was there, and big time problems right side of that 83 car, and looks like there's damage there on the left front. He grabs the gear, spins her on around, gets it pointed in the right direction, but man, oh man, big time damage for that number.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the front end looks a little skewed to the right there, and no fault of the 17 car of Miller there. He was just on the outside, kind of doing his thing, staying out of trouble, and when you're not clear, right? It's just an unfortunate event for the 83 car.
Long enough run for everybody to come down pit road and get some tires. No takers staying out on track. And you can see a couple of these guys have been out there for 119, 120 laps. A couple of drivers out there under that last caution 57 laps or so ago. I don't think we saw any 2-tire stops. Everybody getting 4 tires, some virtual Sunoco race gas, and they're going to restart this one from lap 122, 123 or so. And one of the things we overheard before the drivers' meeting here this evening is these guys can make about 130 laps or so on a tank of fuel. So going to be tight to the finish here as we've got 129 laps to go. In this one, you got to figure you might have a couple of caution flags peppered in, maybe save some gas, come on back down pit road, and top off just a little bit. But, man, oh man, it's going to be tight on fuel from here.
Yeah, I can't see fuel being necessarily the issue for drivers here tonight. I think really it's going to come down to tires. Like we were told and mentioned earlier tonight, that they have 5 sets to use. We know some drivers have already used one, almost like 2 sets now. But 130, just under 130 laps to go. I think they have plenty to use up for tonight still. 3 sets to use. Just why not? I mean, use them while you can. That's 130 laps is really not a lot of time on a short track like Langley.
Yeah, we saw 100 laps, a couple of heat races, some qualifying action. We are wrapped up in less than an hour this past Tuesday night for the TCM Showcase Open. And on a quick pace here tonight as we are 2 laps away from halfway. You can see the 93 car, James Pileski, going to get one of those laps back as we line them up 2 by 2 throughout the field here. So 123 down and 123 plus 2, a couple laps to go.
Yep, we're all doubled up here, ready to go green. Believe the lights are off on the pace car. See, Tent Woolridge going to bring the field to the green flag here, coming out of 4.
Here, just how quickly able to get through the gears, get down into turn number 1, and the 0 car able to pull away by a handful of car lengths, half a second. His lead as we're side by side. Where'd Danny Vitch come from in the 29 car? Up in the 2nd position, Dylan Black up in the 08 car, trying to make that high side work for him, but he's sliding back, going to try and break in front of the 18 car, but not quite enough room there. Almost three wide. Geez.
Little contact maybe between Travis Roma and Dylan Black. It's a little different front of the field that we saw previously, as Josh Landers was just taking advantage of Danny Chisholm. We saw 1 car around Goss in 41 there. Do you get straightened out? Let's say we straighten out now.
Gathered it back up. You can see the 93 car going to get down and around him. That's not for position, though. Pileski still has to make up that 1 more lap. Dan Woolridge holding on to the lead. Danny Vitch had himself a phenomenal pit stop. He's up 12 spots from where he qualified. Biggest mover of the race so far. And it looks like these guys got it out of their system here. There was a little bit of a throwdown throughout the field here, but a little single file action once again. Everybody chasing Tanton Woolridge, Danny Rich, and Josh Landry top 3.
Well, when you're all that close together, choked up and on a restart, everyone's antsy to get going again. Especially with just over 100 laps to go. Not a lot of time if you're in the back of the pack, so you got to try to make up when you can. Can't imagine there'd be a lot of that going on in the rest of the green flag run, but also wouldn't be surprised if we get another caution here shortly.
And you can see a great shot here off the left side of the car. Just how many of these drivers are holding on right to that yellow line. A couple of guys peeking down low below that apron once again to try and get that car to kind of upset itself a little bit more, get it to turn, kind of de-wedge it a little bit. And you can see just how short these straightaways are here at Langley as well. There's not much time to kind of back off the throttle and maybe catch your breath. It's almost like a Waterford speedboat where you're constantly turning the wheel all the way around.
Yeah, and for some drivers who are in the Maritime Theater, to me it kind of reminds a little bit of Speedway 660 here in Gary, New Brunswick. Just the fact that you're not on the straightaway very long, might be for a second or two, but you're back down on the brake going to the corner, and which some drivers here might have a similar feeling to that as what I was just explaining. But I wanted to say that that last shot, and we got the wheel going to the corner. It's like I mentioned before, one of my favorite shots, just to get that perspective. And it's right there what we're seeing right now, with Veach going trying to take advantage of Woolridge here. You can just see where that tire goes below the line where Woolridge is. Gives all the fans watching just that good perspective and what we're seeing now, and just makes the experience a little better.
See, the lights have come on here at Langley Speedway, getting into almost darkness as that sun is just about set over there in the on the other side of the racetrack. And you got that quick onboard shot there of the 29 car of Danny Vitch. You got to wonder if these guys get just a little bit more distracted with the lights going on the inside and the outside of the racetrack. But hey, you got to make sure that you're able to see getting on around here, especially when it's quick, as these laps are getting clicked off.
Nighttime is the right time now, as we get just over 110 laps to go almost. Laps clicking down, temper starting to go up a little more, cars a little tighter. What do we have in this last half of the race here?
Well, we still have a lot of drivers that have a couple of sets of tires down on pit road, but we've
Oh,
also seen... Oh, no!
And Langell there, as Langell goes around. Geez, another caution, 5th one of the day. He's going to swing it back around. Doesn't look like a lot of damage there, but could have been worse.
100% will back that up on the U.S. Racing Designs instant replay, and we'll make sure we get the car there as well. Back that up just a little bit. It's a 4th place car having some issues up with the back end of the car. You can see it gets in there. There's a bump from the 87 car of Chisholm. Didn't quite see that with that all-black race car out on track. A couple of other drivers give him a high five with a race car. Oh, big piece of the 13 car getting taken off there as well. So caution flag flies here once again on the lap 141, and a couple of drivers coming down pit road to handle their business. 41 car of Goss has the right side jacked up, and there you can see the 13 car. They're over to the left side of that machine to try and get some tires and get a little track position. And one of the big advantages of this one is it looks like James Pileski going to get back on the lead lap for that 93 car. So their night getting a little bit better as we go on throughout the evening.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned before, I mean, with him taking the penalty, just sticking out there, and just like at the time, it was best for him to stay out there and to see where the race would go. And he got the cautions he needed to get back on the lead lap. Now he's right now sitting in the top 10. Although unfortunately during that last caution, Travis Roman didn't have anywhere to go. Didn't look like much damage on the front end though, as we thought the 18 of Josh Lane would go around. But mentioning, cars that might have had a better day, but just stuck around longer. Brandon Campbell had a couple incidents early on in the race. Unfortunately, he couldn't stick it out and see where he would be now.
Yeah, and we've been mentioned a couple of times earlier on in the show that this is the All-Star race. This is the showcase, the 4th annual TCM showcase presented by Tulco Electric. So these guys letting it all hang out. Everybody wants to get that bragging rights. They want to get that cool $100 bill, but more importantly, they want to be able to say that they won the finale here for the TCM iRacing series and kind of take that momentum into the real world. And that's why we like doing this here at Vidane TV. We like to bridge the gap between real racing and sim racing, and it'll be cool to see all these drivers out in the social media networks, where they're at, which tracks, who's doing what, who's following who, and who's fighting who in the pits, whatever else goes on. But lined up 2x2, Woldridge in the 0 car down on the bottom side, and Vitch in the 29 Major Mellon Mountain Dew ride up on the high side. 38 car, 08, 141, the top 5. There goes the pace car, there goes the green flag.
Woolridge has done a good restart there, edging out with 2-3 car lengths there in front of Roma. See Veach starting to slide back there in the 4th position now, as Drake takes advantage of that. Oh, we got another 6 caution coming out. Do we have a replay of what happened there?
Yeah, we'll back that up just a momentarily second here on the U.S. Racing Design instant replay. We'll see if we can pick that up as well. And there's something going on a little bit further on in the back. Up here.
Just stop going. The 41 just... No, everyone seemed fine.
Live TV. It works when you want it to.
We see a car in a wall there.
It's like the 13 of Dave Cassidy having some issues with that car. Indeed, it is. You can see nosed into the outside wall there. But it looks like there was a little bit of calamity up in front of him where he tried to almost avoid it and found the outside wall. There you see the 41 gets in a little hot. He tries to avoid it. There you see the 18 car sliding up into the 13 and kind of puts him up into that outside wall. So aggression getting a little bit hotter here as we get into the final 100 laps or so. 102 laps left to go here at Langley.
The 13 just being a unfortunate bystander of it all, just gets collected in the worst part of it. we're gonna restack them, re-rack them, and try it again.
Get the restart with about 100 to go here. Woldridge up in front. Travis Roman, the 38 car, running in second. Danny Vitch running in third. Dylan Black, Noel Fougier rounding out the top 5. Chris Roma, Jason Goss, Todd Cousins, Danny Chisholm, and James Pileski, the top 10. Pileski able to get that free pass onto that last caution flag, making the best of it, breaking his way very quickly back in to the top 10, and the iRacing pace car going to shut those lights off. One Mogan going to line them up 2 by 2. Woldridge down on the bottom side. Roma up top.
Looks like the lights are off on the pace car. Are we double filed again? Coming out of turn 4 now. Pace car drops down the back to pit road. Woldridge is going to take the green flag here. Not as big of a jump as the last couple restarts. The Roma gets right underneath the back bumper. Veach there as well. But Dylan Black on the wall there a little bit. Gets slided back a few spots.
James Pileski flying the wall as well, getting himself turned around. Looks like he's gathered it back up and got it back into gear, but very much in danger of going a lap down. You can see the 38 car going to give Woldridge a little bit of a shot, let him know he's there. The Ted Christopher 3-bump rule in effect with 98 laps to go as we cross the stripe. Noel Fougier all the way down on the bottom side trying to move himself into the top 3, and you can see he's going to take that spot from Vitch.
Chris Roma's trying to fight his way back into the top 5 here. Veach on the outside still. Fougier just extends his lead from the 83 a little bit there, but a couple car lengths.
Big time damage on both sides of the front of the 83 car, but it doesn't look like it's affecting the handling too much. As you can see, still up fighting for that top 5. Little bit of a wiggle there out of the back end of the 38. Tried to take a shot at that lead, didn't quite have it there, and he's going to slide on back into that target. The crosshairs of the 36 of Fougier in behind him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if the tires just worn off on him or something, but he just rear end just got loose on him on that last lap. But he's come back now strong again, trying to challenge again for lead.
Gave himself a lap or 2 to kind of reset everything, and he's going to try and re-attack once again, closing in on the back bumper of Woldridge. And we saw just how quickly 100 laps went this past Tuesday night here on Vidane TV. So these drivers know they need to go. They need to hit that gas pedal as hard as they can and try and get themselves as close to the front. Maybe hope for a late race caution, or whether it's the 75-lap consecutive green flag competition caution that we may or may not have to throw, or if we do have ourselves a little bit of an incident on track. These guys know that they've got 5 sets of tires on the evening, so if you get the advantage, if you get the opportunity here with a short field, there's 13 cars on the lead lap right now, 50 laps, maybe 75 laps to go. Do you come down? Do you take that set of tires?
I mean, if you still have them, I'd say use them. If it comes to that last 75, last 50 laps, whatever, and caution comes out, take them. Get all the advantage you can, because I don't think we'll get, as big of a green flag run at 50 laps coming down to that time.
Smoke them if you got them, and these guys are driving like they're going to get a set of tires here in 5 laps all over the racetrack. A little bit of bumper car.
And Veach at 29 there. They settle it now. Veach slides down a couple spots. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Getting it all sorted back out. Dylan Black underneath that yellow line. No out of bounds rule here at Langley. You can actually see these drivers using the bottom of the racetrack and that apron to turn the cars as they've been doing most of the night here so far. And we can see Cassidy trying to hold on or break back into the top 10, running in 11th right now behind the 29.
Yeah, we also see the 141 of Richard Drake there. The Rash trying to bring himself back into the top 10 as well. He been running around top 5, top 10, earlier on the night, and ever since that last caution, just kind of can't seem to find his way back up there yet. But with 80 laps to go almost, he's gonna have to get on the pedal to get back up there.
Ricky Miller down on pit road. A few laps to go. Looks like maybe done for the evening in that number 17 Monster Energy ride, and might be hearing on the radio had himself too many race. Find himself some relief, but Tanton Woolridge holding on to the lead still. He's got about a car length. Nope, now he's got about a half car length over Roma there in the 38 car, and a bit of a gap back to Fugier in third, almost 7/10 or so of a second. And those guys are all lined up bumper to bumper here as well, just kind of waiting for everybody else to make a mistake. But at this point, how long do you wait for that mistake, or do you start to get aggressive here as the laps wind down?
Well, like you said, almost 8 laps to go now. We see Dane Chisholm here trying to make his way. He's sitting 5th right now, trying to make his way back up to the very front there. There's a gap between the 36 and the 38. I mean, I'd say, if you're going to be aggressive, be aggressive now, get back to the front, and just defend. That's all really what you can do, as long as you aren't the one that gets spun around. You gotta use what you got, right? As we see Dane Chisholm he's going after Roma there. We see the 41 slide back behind Langell now.
Yeah, a little bit of damage on that 18 car, involved in a couple of incidents here throughout the night here at Langley, but still motoring on through, holding on to the top 10, trying to break in to the top 5. You can see Danny Chisholm let himself a couple of laps here tonight in that 87 car. He's trying to hold on to the top 5, and he's trying to move himself up just a little bit. You can see closing right on into the back bumper of the 83 of Chris Roma, but doesn't have quite enough to get there. And as we wind down, you got to wonder how long or how often do you think these guys start to use that bumper?
Well, we've noted earlier on in the race too that it didn't take long for some drivers to use the bumper, and as we've seen, guys like Dane Chisholm, like throughout this winter season on iRacing, that they're not afraid to use it when they need to. We see Chisholm kind of under fire by Josh Langell right now as well. But with about 75 laps to go, if you got the bumper, it's going to happen sooner or later.
Working lap 174, you can see the 83 car getting up to the back bumper of Fugier, and Travis Roma still holding on to that second spot. Looks like he's right now, as they run, going to be the biggest mover of the race. 7 spots gained from where he qualified here tonight, trying to make it 8, trying to get up around that Tanton Woolridge machine. But I think that's the biggest gap that we've seen, the biggest lead that we've seen all night long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it almost looks like maybe he used up a bunch of stuff, and maybe his tire is a little worn right now and just needs to buy his time, because his gap between him and the 36 is shrinking, while the gap between him and the 0 car of Woolridge is kind of expanding. It's not good for Roma in the 38 car. And I honestly don't know what he can really do except just defend right now and hold out for another caution.
And you can hear how these drivers are getting around this racetrack. A couple of drivers will go through, they'll kind of shift into a lower gear, into third gear to get around here, but everybody up towards the front seat, holding on to that high gear. And you can hear just how quick they're on and off the throttle to get these cars to get set up here. Riding on board here with the 41 car of Jason Gosling. You can see that's the back bumper of Langell in the 18 car, and he's got some business up in front of him. So, these guys beating and banging just a little bit more. We're bumper car action, and we are rocking and rolling here on lap number 180.
Yeah, as the night goes on, we've seen some cars kind of flourish to the front. I'm not sure if they made any changes through that transition to kind of keep their cars a little on the looser side as nighttime generally with cooler temperatures makes cars a little bit tighter. And we see a lot of the advances that happen. Cars that make the moves forward, their tires are always below that yellow line. It seems just kind of gives an advantage on the inside. Gets their nose underneath there. You don't see a lot of outside maneuvers on the outside to pass to gain a position. Oh, we see contact between 83 and 36 there. Fugier gets booted out of the way. No one around though. You stay green.
And you can see 36 going to lose a bunch of positions there. Oh, the 83 car slides on back to him. right in front of the 36 car. They almost make contact again here, but as the race gets closer to that checkered flag, you can see the 83 car giving another nudge there to the 36 car. These guys know that we're getting close to the end. They want to get themselves a little checkered flag action, get up there and finish in the money.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? Just in it for the money. As we get down to 65 laps to go, checker the records really now. You want to be as aggressive as you can come in these last part of the race.
Bring back the trophy or the steering wheel, and that's indeed what these drivers are doing. And you can see from the TV tower there, the Vidane TV scoring tower, Tanton Woldridge is driving off into that proverbial sunset. You can see he's got himself about a 1.5-second lead over Travis Roma in second. Danny Chisholm has a little bit of a gap back on into him as well. And the 18 up there as well. Jason Goss, Noel Fouchier, the 83 car, still aggressive in those corners. He's going to get up and give a couple of bops to the back of the 36 car.
Yeah, a bit of gap between the 36 and the 41 of Jason Goss. See Chris Rowland just doing everything he can to move the 36 out of the way, gain that position. I don't know about you, Paul, but that 36 is still pretty racy, but he's pretty well. All he's doing is just defending himself, just to stay in the top 6 right now.
Yeah, holding on to it, had himself a pretty clean race. You can see he's going to try. No, he's going to stay back down on there, and that's frustrating. Fouchier showing a lot of patience here, because essentially what Roma's doing there is flashing his high beams in behind him because he feels like he's a little bit faster. He's going to get down on the bottom side, take that position, and 36 of Fouchier able to slide back on down in front of the 08 car of Dylan, and it looks like Dylan's going to give him a shot on the back bumper.
Yeah, exactly. We saw Fouchier move down a spot to the 7th. I'm not sure how his tires are, but the way it's looking, they don't look very good. We still lose the spots there. If he has another caution to get a chance to take some tires there, would do him a world of good. As we see, he's being attacked by Dylan Black there, and he's got Richie Drake coming behind him. They're strong as well.
Trying to hold on to that spot, trying to get a little bit closer to that top 5, rather. Running in the 7th position, Dylan Black all over the back bumper. Richard Drake is there as well. Todd Cousins in the 2. Danny Fitch back there as well. James Pileski back on the lead lap. Dave Cassidy has some damage on that 13 car, but still motoring around on the lead lap. And heck, this guy's almost on a lap all by himself. 3-second lead for Dan Woldridge.
Yeah, biggest lead we've seen all night. He's on a world of his own, really, on cloud 9 right now. He just has to stay pace for the next 50 laps here. Kind of save what he has. Just keep the tires the way they are. Don't have to. No changes to what he's doing. Don't really need to get all fancy. Just trying to change lines, see what does what. He's still extending his lead out. He's now almost 3/10 of a second, really. While others battling here for really third place here. Chisholm is kind of extending his pace above Roma. But he can't seem to find any ground. Oh, we see Roma getting out of shape from the Josh Lanza bump here.
Yeah, the 18 car gave him a couple of shots square on the back bumper. Oh, the Romas almost get into each other. Spotters start yelling at both of them. They get it all sorted out. And you can see that 18 machine wants to move up towards the front. Gets that podium spot right now. Brings Jason Goss up in there with him. And I think as we approach this last 50 laps here, Matt, this is really going to start happening more and more often. I think these drivers, the gloves are off at this point. It's all go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is overtime for, essentially what would be overtime. His last push here to go 50 laps. Drivers aggressiveness starting to go up there. Tempers are starting to flare. People are getting upset with other drivers. But again, almost over 3.5 second lead for Woldridge. He's in a class of his own right now. There's no one out there that's able to even get close to him. So his race to lose at the moment. While everyone else is all getting aggressive and getting mad at each other, he's all clear.
You can see putting a 13 car down a lap. Some big time damage on the front of that car. Still affecting and handling. They've been working on that 13 car all night here, but still can't quite get the virtual sheet metal bent back straight. So Canton Woolridge is going to get on by, going to extend his lead here just a little bit. And we did hear from the big boss man earlier on, Tim Terry. With these 75 lap green flag consecutive lap competition cautions, we will not throw one of those after lap 225. We're about 20 laps away from that point here, and we know these guys can make it on the tank of fuel that they've got, but if we get one of those late race cautions, I would gotta bet that a lot of these guys are going to come down and try and take that last set of tires.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a set to go, use them. Especially if we come into a point of, having another caution, or I don't even think we're gonna be able to get a competition caution. What was the last caution we had? Like around 180, wasn't it? So we might be pushing it for a competition caution here. But as aggressive as these drivers have been lately, it would not surprise me if we have one last caution to go around.
Hey, you see the 08 car, almost an accordion effect, tries to give a shot to 36. The 141 was there when there was just a little bit of a slip up. They were briefly two line back behind there. Here's some ruthless aggression between a couple of drivers. The 93 of Pileski getting a tap from Todd Cousins in the 2 car. That's a couple of drivers that definitely not afraid to use that chrome horn.
No, we're almost to 4 laps to go here as well. So if you're gonna use the chrome horn, especially when you're in the top 10, time to use it now and make up any ground you can. And we see Woolridge jumped now almost 4.5 seconds over Danny Chisholm, and no sign of slowing down for him unless he has a massive problem around sometime. But so far he's got clean air out front. Everyone's still stacked up here in the back, but it's no competition for Canton Woolridge at the moment.
Blasting off like a Falcon 9 rocket. We call Elon Musk, Canton Woolridge stole one of his rockets and put it inside that race car. It seems like 36 car getting not quite pushed up to the outside, but asking very nicely to get moved on up to the outside, getting a little bit stuck right there. He's going to try and get back around the 141, but there you see Pileski.
Oh, caught him between 19 and 36 there. Yeah, Rich Drake being kind of a gentleman, just kind of like letting know 36. All right, I'm here. Kind of starting to move out a little bit, while the 93 was a little more aggressive with that one. As we see, the 93 turn Richard Drake. Woo! There's that 7th caution coming around here, and that 5 second lead just evaporated for Canton Woolridge.
It's going to be a good opportunity for these guys to come down pit road here as well. A little bit excessive on the aggression out of the 93 car here tonight, but we'll take a peek at it at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay as we back up to tapes and take a look. And we've seen a lot of hard racing from the 93 car tonight, and it looks like that's we'll take a look at it here together. And you can see side by side up in front of 141 right there. Looks like he has to check up just a little bit there, and 93 car might not have seen what was going on through there, and there you can see they kind of stack up in behind them. And as we come back to the live shot, you can see everybody's coming down pit road, and it's looking like everybody's taking 4 tires. We'll take a peek. Everybody down pit road. Oh, the Woolridge machine. He's going to drive away with 2 tires. The 18, the 41, they're all going to come out 2 tires only for some of these guys. So this is going to be interesting.
That does surprise me a little bit that Langell and 41 of Goss only took 2 tires, considering the leader took 2 tires. I mean, I guess they feel like their equipment's good enough to stay up there. But if Canton Woolridge gets a good jump on restart, I just don't see anyone having any sort of shot without having 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, and we've seen that 0 car has been fast all evening long here at Langley. And once again, live all over the internet here tonight on Vidane TV for the 4th annual TCM Showcase 250, presented by Tulco Electric. Live on Facebook, live on Twitch, and live on YouTube. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching a little bit of iRacing action here on a Thursday night. And we're wrapping up the TCM iRacing season for the year. Getting ready to dust off the old driving gloves and get out to the racetrack and get to be able to cross that bridge once again from the sim racing world into the real racing world. And really looking forward to getting myself up to Stafford Speedway. Going to try and run an enduro car over here at the Waterford Speed Bowl. So lots of stuff going on here for the Showtime camp. What have you got going on here this year, Matt?
I know for myself, like I'm getting ready to, well, in a month's time, we'll be starting up with the Maritime Pro Stock Tour season again at the season opener on May 20th at Scotia Speed World. So I'm looking forward to that, and me being the camera guy for Tim Terry, doing those Pro Stock races, I have a lot of fun doing it, getting every shot I can and making it all look entertaining and on your small screen.
Got to get out there and support those local short tracks. Buy yourself a ticket, buy yourself a t-shirt and a hat from your favorite driver. Green flag flies once again, crossing the stripe for lap 220. Tant Woldridge able to clear the 18 car, but it is a hornet's nest behind him, and we are under caution one more time.
I was going to mention, I thought I saw the 38 go high, wide, and hairy there for a second, but I didn't know if he was around or what.
Take a peek at it once again here. We'll back it all the way up to the restart on the U-House Racing Design instant replay. The 29 spun his tires there, and
get some contact from the 2 car of Todd Cousins.
So they get it re-racked and restacked here with 30 laps to go. Going to be 13 cars here on the lead lap. Still 13 cars out on track. The only 2 drivers down on pit road right now. The 17 of Ricky Miller, 99 of Brandon Campbell retiring early on in the evening. They're down in the garage area getting a couple of corn dogs and potentially a nice cold Coca-Cola. Tant Woldridge holding on to the lead. Josh Langell working his way back up into second. Jason Goss, Noel Fougier, and Chris Roma, the top 5 as they run.
You're telling me while Brandon Campbell's sitting down outside the race car, he couldn't bring us some corn dogs and pops too?
You would think he would.
I thought he would be a good buddy of ours and try to do that for us, but I guess not.
I think we make fun of him too much on the air.
There's no fun if we don't make fun of him, though. Like, that's the point.
You gotta make your own fun, and these drivers getting ready to do just that. The iRacing lights off on that pace car, lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Woldridge gonna restart down in the bottom once again. Josh Langell in the 18 car up top. Goss and Noel Fougier in it behind them. 2-2-2. Shout out to Gary Spinato, the number 22 street stock from Stafford Motor Speedway. Green flag flies again. A 41 car, big wiggle, big slide, spinning the tires. Holds on the 4th.
See the 2 car coming, challenging the 83 of Chris Roma there. Oh, we see another big wreck there for Nice Cautionary Night. 93 involved, 38 of Travis Roma. I think that was the 13 or 29 of Danny Beach there.
Yeah, you can see a little contact in between the 08 car of Dylan Black and the 93 of James Pileski. Actually, we're going to back that up another quarter lap or so because it was a bit of a checkup. There's that wiggle you saw from the restart. Chain effect here from the restart. There's the big slide from the 41 car. Kind of jacks everybody up here. 93 car off the gas. Nowhere to really go for Drake or the 08 car of Dylan Black. They get it almost all sorted out, but it looks like a little bit of contact between those 2 drivers. There's some big contact with the 38 car and the 29 of Danny Vitch. Gets everything woed up before he crushed that nose of that car like a Mountain Dew can. So,
kind of mention, I thought Danny Vitch in 29 actually had some contact, but it looks like he didn't. But the 13 car that I thought didn't have any contact did get some contact at the beginning of that wreck.
Yeah, lots of damage on that Cassidy ride all the way around that camo car. Luckily, it's camouflage, so you can't see it.
Yeah, that's the only benefit of having a car that's so camouflaged that you can't tell if it has damage or not.
So 25 laps to go, getting re-racked, restacked once more, and everybody able to make it on fuel here. A couple of differing strategies as far as tires go. Last time we were down pit road, a couple of drivers taking 2 tires, a couple of drivers taking 4 tires, and you got to wonder if those 4 tires were not so much worth it, because they definitely increased the lap times for sure here, but do you have enough time to kind of utilize the wear on those 4 tires?
Yes, I have no idea, to be honest. 25 left to go. If you've gone in now to get four fresh ones, they may be warmed up just enough at the end of the run, to be honest. I can't see anyone who, if you got 4 fresh tires on the previous caution, good for you. If you didn't, if you just got them now, good luck. You see Tanner Rollridge get a good restart here with 23 laps to go. And that's really the thing, right? So we're down within 25 laps to go. Having good tires is great, but I don't think they're going to be warm enough before you have to make any real moves toward the end of the race here now.
Track position key here at Langley. We talked about it earlier on in the show Tuesday night after the race. These drivers talking about how hard it is to pass here on the bottom side. The 29 car of Vitch off the pace just a little bit, but he gathers it back up once again, and a little bit of the same up front for Tanton Woldridge. He lost that 4-second lead that he had a couple of cautions ago, but trying to build it back slowly but surely. 0.4 of a second is the gap between he and the 18 Angel.
Yeah, we see Novagier trying to make any sort of gain here while he's back in the 3rd position, but being attacked by Jason Goss in the 41 car.
Saw Goss have himself a little contact earlier on. The 83 car, Riss Roma, is there as well. Danny Vitch, or check that, Danny Chisholm in the 87 car. Back in the 6th position, Todd Cousins in behind him as well, rocking the Tulco Electric car, or logo rather, on the hood of that car. And they're the presenting sponsor here tonight for the 4th annual TCM Showcase 250 here at Langley. Appreciate their support throughout the TCM iRacing season, and you can see that lead starting to shrink just a little bit. The 18 car might be onto something.
Yeah, I noticed the 18 car being fast all night. He's been one of those guys that he's been good in the pack. He's been good out front. Hasn't really had a chance to lead any laps yet, but he's ever so closely just nudging his way forward within half a second here. I just don't know if he has enough time to close that gap and make his move.
You can almost see each lap trying a couple of different lines to see if he can maybe get himself a little momentum to try and close up to the back bumper of Woldridge. But that's 2 different things, getting up to the back bumper of that 0 car who's been strong all night and then trying to get around it. Do you give him the back bumper? Do you get up on the high side? Do you try and shoot down on the low side? We're going to find out together here. 14 laps to go, and a little bit of a cushion now between the top 2. A little bit cushion further on back there to Fougere in 3rd as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you mentioned, what do you do for the bumper or not? I don't think he has really enough time to try to change lanes to an outside lane to see if he can make any more ground that way for Josh Langell. I think his only chance right now is trying to close it on the bottom and use the chrome horn really to kind of move out of the way and see if we can make any magic happen here while we're almost a 10 to go here.
Picking them up, putting them down, and getting down to the nitty-gritty. These guys know there is no time to like showtime, and you can see 0.6 of a second. Woldridge has got the afterburners checked on here. 0.6, almost 0.75 of a second over Josh Langell here tonight. Total darkness around the racetrack. Lights are on. We are getting ready to party big here for the TCM finale, and appreciate everybody joining us for the ride as we have 9 laps to go.
Woldridge has the need for speed. He is out there almost, 0.7 of a second here above Josh Langell. Again, like I mentioned, I don't think there's any real competition now for Woldridge. He's been having a lights out night all day. It's 8 laps to go now. There's nothing more he can really do. Just extend the lead, keep patient now. While we see Langell just struggling to put good lap times together, he's still 0.8 of a second back.
I think it's just that 0 car is so much quicker than the field here, putting his practice in, eating his Wheaties, and getting the best him at the racetrack, the virtual racetrack here at Langley tonight. That's zero car Ben Quick all evening long, and you can see he's coming into 3 and 4. He's going to wave up to Barney in the flag stand. He's going to wave right back with a high five. 5 laps to go here in the TCM Showcase 250. 5 laps to go in the TCM iRacing season, and Wooldridge has a full second lead over the 18 car of Josh Langell.
Josh must be praying right now for a late race caution with 4 laps to go here. He's gonna need a miracle to try to have something, Hail Mary pass here if he were to have any last chance to do it. But over a second and a half here. Oh, he's got to choke himself. He is the caution. Oh my God, 10th caution out today. 18 around. Not sure what happened to him. Oh, he's got
hard in the 18 car. Yeah, trying to make that line work for him. Trying to kind of close in, and you can see just loses the back end up into the outside wall. Tries to drift on around here. Unfortunately, nowhere to go for Fougere. 83 car gets spun around as well. Dylan Black almost gets a piece of it. Oh man, the 29 of Vitch gets a big piece up on the front of that. We're gonna get ourselves a little bit of overtime as we get a green light checkered here at the closing of this one.
Well, definitely a caution that Langell needed, but didn't need him to be involved in it. That almost kind of reminded me of that Martin Truex wreck in the Busch Series back in the day in Richmond, kind of wall riding the side of the car.
Josh Langell, Dave Cassidy going to jump down on pit road, get some repairs, see if they can get some stucco on that thing and make it around for 3 more laps or so. A couple of laps under caution. We'll get that green light checkered here to close out the night. And it's been great racing here. Been great watching all these races here on iRacing, or in iRacing rather, on Vidane TV. And we appreciate you following us along all winter long, keeping us company as we try to entertain the masses here at Vidane TV. Once again, we are super close to 2,000 likes over on the Vidane TV Facebook page. 27 away from hitting that big 2,000. And once we hit that marker over there on Facebook, we will indeed give away a couple of t-shirts and hats. Put together a fun little giveaway for the fans, and that's why we do that. We're trying to entertain the fans and bridge that gap between real racing and sim racing. And there you see it. Lights are off, Matt. We're lined up 2 by 2, getting ready to take this one home.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned before, it's Tanton Wooldridge's race to lose here. We see Noel Vajir on the outside in the 36 car, restarting P2. Jason Goss in the 41, Danny Chisholm in the 87, all black card, and Todd Cousins running at top 5 with Travis Roma on the outside.
Big slide for the 41 car, spins the tires, loses a bit of momentum, and you can see that's going to jam things up from 3rd place on back. Tanton Wooldridge pulling away Noel Fougere, sliding on into 2nd. They're side by side for 3rd. 2 laps to go. Coming to the white flag, white rag. Tanton Wooldridge 3/4 of a second over Fougere. Fougere has himself a little bit of a gap between him and Goss. Danny Chisholm down on the bottom side by side. Chisholm down and around, and Wooldridge going to cross the stripe, take that checkered flag, and they are wrecking back in 3 and 4. The 18 car.
Big mess there.
He found that wall once again. But man, oh man, Chisholm going to get that thing turned on around and still going to score a top 10 out of it. So that's good there. And you can see fireworks going off in the background. What a way to cap off the TCM iRacing season.
As I said previously, checkers records. Checkers for Tanton Wooldridge, records for Danny Chisholm and Josh Langell there on that final lap. But congratulations to the Tulco Electric 250 winner, Tanton Wooldridge.
We're going to watch him burn him down here on the front straightaway. Great shot of the fireworks going on in the background there. And we'll take a look at the unofficial results for the closer here tonight. And you can see Tanton Wooldridge, Noel Fougere, Jason Goss going to finish on the podium and talk to us here on the Turn 4 podcast post-race show. Todd Cousins, Richard Drake going to round out the top 5.
Travis Roma, Dave Cassidy, Dylan Black, Danny Veach, and Danny Chisholm round your top 10. Happy to see Chris Roma, Josh Langell, James Pileski, Ricky Miller, and Brandon Campbell round the field.
Yeah, that last caution did that 93 car. Pileski in, pulled it down onto the safety of pit road, and then rolled it on over to the garage area. Called it a little bit Dunsky for the evening, and we're just getting hooked up with these top three drivers. Exciting finish here to this one for the 4th annual TCM Showcase 250 presented by Tulco Electric. And really got to give those guys a shout out for jumping on board with TCM this year, as well as the RBR Maritime Group. And it was cool to be able to kind of talk with the big boss man here, Tim, getting ready to pencil in stuff for next season here in iRacing. Great to be able to focus on crowning ourselves a little bit of a champion and a winner here tonight, but also cool to focus in on the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always love being part of these TCM events in iRacing this past year, and I look forward and hopefully I get some opportunities helping you out in the booth in your regular Vidane series.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk to a very excited winner here. Very strong showing in that 0 car. Tanton Woldridge coming home with the victory, and watching that victory lap there in slow motion. Fireworks going off in the background. Talk to us, man. Great run.
Yeah, thank you. It, smooth run all night long was the goal, and knew tonight that there's only around 14 cars, quite not as big a field as what we're used to. So just be patient and be there at the end, and you'll have a shot to go for a win.
Coming into this one, as we heard in the drivers' meeting, we kind of had the drivers vote on whether or not they wanted a competition caution. Does that change the way you attack this racetrack throughout a 250 lapper?
It does, and it doesn't. At the end of the day, you gotta run your race, but the biggest thing that it changes is your fuel strategy. I mean, for myself, I like to race with having the most amount of options. So if we were in a 250 lap race today and, there was no comp yellows, had there been a caution in the first 20 laps, I might have come down pitted, taken fuel, just so that I have the option that I can run it to the end or pit. Like, it just gives you more options. So whenever we had that comp yellow, it makes it very clear. If you're good for 75 laps of fuel until the comp yellow, don't pit. If you're not, then come in. So it just makes, honestly, the strategy a little bit easier, I find, in that sense. So at the end of the day, I think we were going to probably stick with a very similar strategy to what we had. So it didn't affect too much tonight.
Always good to think a little bit less on strategy and focus on the wheel there, and focus kind of shifting here from the sim racing world to the real racing world. Where can the fans out there find Tanton Woldridge out in the 2023 season?
Yeah, they're gonna finally find me mainly on the Maritime League of Legends tour, running my Legend car, and really excited to get digging after having a rookie season last year. Being a rookie, that's always a learning curve. So excited to take that knowledge that we learned last year and take all the work that we've put in this winter, both on myself trying to get better as a race car driver and also on the car trying to improve in that aspect. So really excited to see what we can do in that. And then the biggest excitement for me probably is getting to most likely or with the plans hop in a Pro Late model this season again. Got to run a couple of races last year, and really excited to get on board with Trevor Lamb Racing for the 2023 season and run some races for them. And as always, we're looking for marketing partners, because obviously Pro Late model racing is quite expensive. So we're definitely looking for partners to help make sure that we can make that happen this year.
Huge opportunity to get out there and get people talking about your brand, because this kid's quick, and no matter what he gets. And Tanton, it's been great watching you here throughout the iRacing season. Looking forward to following you along on the social media outlets and all that good stuff. Who out there is watching? Who's helping you get to and from both the virtual and the real racetrack?
Biggest one tonight is Matt Watson. He pulled up on the spotters booth tonight, so that always, it makes it a lot easier. There's a lot less that you have to kind of run through in your mind. He's just letting you know what's going on, what other guys are doing, and you don't really have to guess. You can more focus on just trying to wheel and keep your strategy to plan A. If you can stick to plan A and not go to plan B, plan C, plan D, you're going to be a little bit better off. So Matt Watson gets the biggest shout out tonight. And then obviously the real world partners, McKinnon Brothers Service Center, Cornwall Self Storage, Tim Myers Excavation. There's an endless list that goes on, and obviously they don't get thanks enough throughout the season. So big thank you to those guys. Thank you to the Pro Late Model sponsors. We're starting to get to them at trying to see if they want to come back on board this year. So obviously from last year, big thank you to I Love PEI Potatoes, Lamb Concrete, Speedway Performance Parts, Lone Oak Brewing Co., TireCanada.ca. And then, obviously you guys and Tim, you guys have done a ton this year for putting these races on. And Tulco Electric was a big one. They sponsored so much in iRacing for Atlantic Canada this year. So Tulco Electric, it's, a big shout out for putting this on and quite a bit of that RBR series as well. So thank you to all those guys. Thank you to you, Paul, and to Ashton for the announcing and stuff this year. It's been a really fun season.
Wheeling and dealing, styling and profiling, and winner here in the 4th annual TCM Showcase 250 presented by Tulco Electric. Tanton, congratulations. And a little bit further on down pit road, Matt's down there. He's caught up with the cat that's finished second, Noel Fougere.
I know what, Noel, sorry. So looking through the race, you were kind of like back and forth between middle pack to, up in top 5. And especially the last couple of runs, you were kind of doing a lot of defending. How did you get up to that point with a lot of strategy base? And did you have anything for Tanton at the end?
No, I definitely didn't have anything for Tanton. He was really fast the entire night. There was definitely no catching him, but I knew I had time on my side for this race being so long. So I just wanted to kind of play it by ear and see what strategy worked and what didn't. So when the first caution came out, I came in and put 2 on it, and that worked pretty good. And the second caution, which was around halfway, I came in and put 4 on to see if that would work any better, and that really didn't. And that was the longest run of the race. And like you said, I was defending for most of it, which is not the way I like to race. I feel like I'm better as an aggressor, someone who's better to go out and try and make moves happen than try to defend. So I knew if we got another caution to finish it out that I wanted to put 2 more on it, and thankfully it did. And things sort of worked out just with little incidents happening or people coming into pit, that I was able to make my way up to the top 5, and then got a big piece of that damage on that last spin, whatever happened to Josh there with 3 laps to go. Tore the whole right side of the car off. So I knew I'd be in a bad spot coming to the green white checkered, but thankfully managed to hold on and come home second. So that's definitely a positive result for tonight.
Yeah, and congratulations again on the second place finish. And just to kind of follow up, like you mentioned, you took 2 tires early on the race. Was there any part of you wanted to take 4 tires like at every stop, or like, was there any moving around in terms of trying to find a faster line, like, a little further up top, or could you go a little further down, like on the apron, or anything you could do to try to make the car faster on your end?
Yeah, the tracks that are flat like this and the way that it works with the tire model makes them really one groove. So there's not a lot you can do in terms of moving around. Which is, I think, why we saw so many wrecks of just people driving through each other, because there's not really any other way to get around them. But part of the reason I took 2 tires on the first stop is because these tracks are so short, a lot of times if you take 4, the pace car comes back around and puts you a lap down, and I wasn't exactly sure how long that would take. So I wanted to take 2 to make sure that I wouldn't go a lap down. Turns out we had enough time for 4, which is why I put 4 on the second run. But yeah, it's just trying to figure out the right tire strategy is pretty much your only option in terms of trying to make the car faster and adjusting brake bias and things like that. But in terms of actual driving and lines on the track, you're pretty set in stone for one groove around tracks like this.
All right, fair enough. Where would we be able to catch Noel Fougere on the real life circuit here?
Unfortunately, you won't be catching me on the real life racetrack. Not as of right now, anyway. Definitely open to any opportunities, but with racing being as expensive as it is, and especially with tires and supply chain stuff like that, it's not an easy time to get into racing. So I will be at Riverside in Antigonish for the season, as I've been for the last couple of years now, working with some of the staff there. Joan and everybody's been great to me the time that I've been involved there. So I'll definitely be there for the season, and might make a trip up to Halifax, possibly catch a show at Scotia. But yeah, definitely my season comes to an end as everyone else's starts here. So it's exciting for everybody. I'm excited to see what Tanton can do this year. I know he was starting to get his feet under him last year in the Legend car, so I'm excited to see what he can do, and especially getting in that pro car. I know he's a hell of a wheelman, and I'm sure he's going to get it done this year.
Well, absolutely, and all the best to you at Riverside there. Again, congratulations on the runner-up finish, and hope you have a good night.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. And thanks to Tim and everybody for putting this on, and Tulco Electric and Craig for sponsoring the event. As Tanton said, they put a lot of money and a lot of sponsorship into events for both TCM and the RBR series that I've been a part of. So definitely cool to see so many awesome partners come on and help support these series.
Catching back up. Looks like Jason Goss might have handed a note over to Tim. He had to run. Looks like he's getting a snack or something. It's a long race here, Tim, but a phenomenal race once again here at Langley, and a pretty good way to cap off the season.
Hold on, it helps if I turn my microphone on. I spent my last 2 Thursday nights in Newfoundland, so he's probably grabbing a beverage right about now. But yeah, congratulations. Thank you for everybody that came out. Obviously, Tanton dominated here tonight and walked away from the field before final couple of cautions there at the end. But congratulations to all the winners. And Tanton also got the Caden Lapsevich Fast Lap Award, which up until the second to last restart, I think on 232, was going to Brandon Campbell, which is why you saw Brandon Campbell come back out on the racetrack a couple of times at the very end, trying to get a quick lap in there to take his money back. But congratulations to Tanton on that. And we'll find out what goes on with us next season. I know there's been a couple of thoughts already about what we're going to do iRacing-wise next season, but the focus shifts to the real world now, Paul. We've got the kart race coming up, the St. Louis Bar and Grill Icebreaker Enduro at ECK on April 29th. Radical Speed Sport comes up a week before that, and then we've got TCM Live, which is Corner Motorsports Live this week. Paul's going to be in the production chair with Brandon, maybe Dylan if the Maple Leafs don't get beat out of the playoffs too quick. Wait, did I say that? Yeah. Brandon Campbell, Ashton Reekie. I don't know who's going to show up next week, Paul, but you're going to have Daniel Adio, Sean Hyslip, and Jesse Thompson as a part of the show. So focus shifts to the real world stuff. Looking forward to getting going with that. And yeah, congratulations. Thanks to everybody that came out, and we'll see what happens in 2023-24. And thank you to Craig Tully from Tulco Electric for putting this on, Paige Drake for helping us in the booth, and Matt and Ashton and the absent Mike James this year, even though he's still floating around somewhere in Newfoundland.
Floating around on that rock, or that island, as they call it. But a great way to cap off the iRacing deal. Weekly Racing Dunskies here for Vidane TV up until probably the fall time when we start to see these leagues kick things back off. One big show left on the schedule here in April. April 30th, the Liberty Racing Vidane TV 200 presented by Conway Customs. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. We got some hardware getting worked on for that one. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Check out the Liberty Racing League Facebook page for all the details on that. But that's going to do things here for us at Vidane TV. We'll catch you on the flip side. And when we do, we're going to be doing it live.